In 2023, a single company's stock price rose by 239%. Not a startup, not a tech darling. A chip maker that most people had written off. And the reason it exploded isn't just a business story. It's a warning about who is actually going to control artificial intelligence. And by the end of this video, you're going to see exactly why that should concern you. Think about the last time you used AI. ChatGPT, Midjourney, Google Search, your phone's autocorrect. Every single one of those interactions required hardware. Training GPT-4 alone required somewhere between 25,000 and 30,000 high-end chips running for months. Those chips cost tens of thousands of dollars each. Do the math. We're talking about billions of dollars just to build one AI model, before a single user ever touches it. So here's the question nobody asks. Where do those chips come from? In 1999, a man named Jensen Huang co-founded a company to build graphics chips for video games. It nearly went bankrupt multiple times. Competitors mocked it. Wall Street ignored it. But Jensen made a bet that almost nobody else saw coming. He believed that the same chips designed to render explosions in video games could be used to train artificial intelligence. He was right. By 2023, his company, NVIDIA, was the most important hardware company on Earth. And Jensen Huang became one of the most powerful people in the technology industry. Not because he invented AI, because he controlled the infrastructure AI runs on. Here's what most people don't understand about how AI actually works. Traditional processors, the CPUs inside your laptop, handle tasks one at a time, very quickly. But training an AI model doesn't need speed. It needs parallelism. You need thousands of calculations happening simultaneously. That's exactly what GPUs were designed to do. A single NVIDIA H100 chip, their flagship AI processor, can perform around 2,000 trillion operations per second. NVIDIA had been building this architecture for 25 years before AI went mainstream. That's not luck. That's a 25-year head start. When a market is worth hundreds of billions of dollars, everyone wants in. AMD is NVIDIA's closest chip competitor and has been closing the gap. Intel, once the undisputed king of processors, bet wrong on the AI shift and is now playing catch-up, spending tens of billions trying to rebuild its relevance. But here's the twist most people miss. The biggest threat to NVIDIA isn't AMD or Intel, it's the companies buying the chips. Amazon, Microsoft, and Google don't just buy NVIDIA chips. They're building their own. Google has a chip called the TPU Tensor Processing Unit, which it uses to power Google Search and its own AI models internally. Amazon has Trainium and Inferentia, its own AI chips designed specifically for their cloud platform. And Apple has quietly been designing its own silicon for years. The message from every major tech company is the same. We don't want to depend on NVIDIA forever. In 2024, the United States announced it would invest $52 billion into domestic semiconductor manufacturing. Why? Because right now, over 90% of the world's most advanced chips are made in one place, Taiwan. And Taiwan sits 100 miles from mainland China. This is why the AI chip race isn't just a business story. It's a geopolitical one. If anything disrupts chip production in Taiwan, a conflict, a natural disaster, a political crisis, the global AI economy stops immediately. Here's what makes this more than a tech story. Advanced AI requires advanced chips. And the United States government has now restricted the export of its most powerful chips to China. The reasoning is blunt. Whoever leads in AI hardware may gain decisive advantages in defense, surveillance, economic modeling, and cyber capabilities. In 2023, the US tightened those restrictions again. China responded by pouring hundreds of billions into building its own domestic chip industry. What started as a corporate competition has turned into a new kind of arms race. One measured not in missiles, but in nanometers. By 2030, some analysts project the AI chip market will exceed $500 billion annually. The next generation of AI models will be exponentially larger than what exists today. Which means the demand for chips isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. And the companies that can produce the most powerful, most efficient chips will be positioned to control the infrastructure of the next digital era. Think about what that means. Not just profits, not just market share, control over which AI systems get built, which countries can access them, and ultimately, how intelligence itself gets distributed across the world. Every major technological revolution in history had a physical backbone. The railroads didn't just transport goods. They determined which cities thrived and which ones disappeared. Fiber optic cables didn't just carry data. They determined which economies led the internet age, and AI chips won't just power software. They will determine who leads the intelligence age. The AI revolution looks like it's happening in code. But the real battle? It's happening in silicon. But controlling the chip isn't enough. Because even if you have unlimited compute power, you still need something else, the model itself. And in 2019, one company made a bet that would change that entirely. Microsoft wrote a $1 billion check to a small San Francisco AI lab that most people had never heard of. What they got in return would eventually reshape the entire software industry. And the terms of that deal, which almost nobody read carefully, may have handed Microsoft something far more valuable than anyone realized at the time. That story is next. Subscribe and like for more.